This is a very warm aloha. My name is Jarmila, and I am here to find out who is sharing this beautiful and powerful planet, Mother Earth, with me. And I would like to end the session of being a hermit and reach out to all of my beautiful soul family, brothers and sisters. And I have my very beloved dear friend Christine here with me, who will ask me some questions, and these questions may help you to find me.
Oh, I'm very excited to be with this beautiful being who is a powerful and one of the most loving humans that I know. And so I would love you to share a little bit about your work and who it is that you have been working with. And I know things shift and evolve constantly with you, and you are in tune with everything, but maybe you could share a little bit about who you're reaching out to.
Yes, so it is also interesting that you say, Christine, that I'm in tune with everything. It is fine to be in tune, but you'll also once upon a time find yourself to be totally out of tune, which is what I have been experiencing. And it is not by chance, it is by design. And the many people that I have worked with, and they worked with me, are people of all kinds of walks. Housewives or doctors or teachers of private or public schools or students, children, even houses and homes and offices, but they are not here to speak their stories. So I'll just stick to mostly what I have been observing and also experiencing is how people are very confused and perhaps find themselves in many ways that they question why they are here. What the heck am I doing here? And the same thing has happened to me quite recently, where I woke up one day and I was really disappointed that I'm still here in such a, I'll say, schizophrenic and dysfunctional world.
I know when we were talking earlier, you talked about this being a time of transfiguration.
Yes.
So could you explain a little bit about that and maybe how you would work with someone to help them move through that?
Time of transfiguration, that is very correct. That's part of the high alchemy that Mother Earth is with us, and we are with her, and it's consciously or unconsciously it's happening. So the transfiguration is the time of very rapid change. So when we have very rapid change, we actually find ourselves in that huge, magnanimous peak of chaos. And chaos can look like enormous fear, insecurity, anxiety, or depression, all of these things. So transfiguration is also another level of a wake-up call when we recognize that the life we have lived is not really doing anything for us, and we rather would not be here because we have done this millions of times, and it is really time now to do something totally brand new and different. And I will digress here, and I will use a light language to bring a little bit higher frequency here. Woman, it says, woman is a nature being. Man is a nature being, and we are basically through the transfiguration are guided, sometimes by force, to come back into our own innate nature. So when we look, for example, at the cell of our body, we are trillions of walking cells. The cell always mimics our environment. And the environment is, of course, we can divide it into mental, emotional, and physical, and also spiritual, because this is ongoing marriage of the spiritual self and the physical self. And what the physical is basically very densified energy. So it's something that it gives you needs and gives you structure, where you build boundaries, where you build structure, where you orient yourself in given space and time. And then on top of it and all around it is your energy that reacts to you or interacts with you depending on the level and skill of your awareness. Now, if I take let's say ordinary person, that actually they're not ordinary persons, but if I'll take ordinary person, how should you understand what I am talking about? I need to a little pause here. It is in stillness. It's important to bring to your daily practice a way of stillness, way of quietness, way of silence, because that gives you space for realization, and that realization builds on sort of guidance system that is very, I would say, sometimes quiet, sometimes not. The guidance system basically takes you into a further steps, takes you into doing things that you would not want to previously consider doing them. And it actually does happen naturally. And it actually is true that you don't have to always know what you're doing. As long as you're listening to your innate need for making changes, you really don't always have to know the concrete specific steps, what you want to achieve, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, well, I think it is very similar to what we were talking about also earlier, where you were talking about one of the modalities that you use, which is through the movement of dance and
Yes.
the movement of the body before coming into stillness. So can you maybe share a little bit about that? Because I think that's so powerful.
Yes, it is totally powerful. And again, movement is innate within human being, within actually every sentience that we know on this planet Earth, be it a tree or a dog. When you see dog going into the water swimming, the dog comes out and starts shaking immensely the water off, but also realigns within its nervous system, and basically lets the cells in the nervous system and all the biological field know that it's changing its messages into being completely composed, peaceful, and harmonious being, which is our innate self. So we are able to function in most pristine, healthy ways. And so with dancing, what we are doing is to recalibrating again the cells out of trauma, out of enormous suppression, repression, or sexual abuse or emotional abuse. When you respond to your body in this way through movement, through dancing, because I used to dance most of my life, and I'm ballet educated in Europe. So, I have it is your very imminent closest tool that you can give to yourself when you turn on music, and you let the music to touch into you, and you just follow that sound, and you don't think, oh, hold on, I don't know how to move and nobody taught me. You're not a machine. You just innately feel into the music, and you compose both of yourselves into natural way of a movement, which then creates a different space in your mind and in your heart. And the whole body gets to be oxygenated. So right there and then, your blood is much clearer. Obviously, we can talk about diet and lifestyle, etc., etc. But with the movement, you basically get a new message into yourself, and things that felt hour ago impossible are not any longer impossible. Let's say, like that.
Yeah, that's so beautiful. And so, yeah, it's a primal thing, as the dog knows to shake off, and we have forgotten that maybe. So I love that as a way to move into your own self-healing. And this is part of, I think, your gift, and what the biggest gift I think I've received from you is that although you have so much knowledge and you are tuning in multidimensionally all the time, you really, when you're working with people, you're really encouraging people to tune into their own knowing,
yes,
and to begin to trust themselves. And for me, that was the biggest gift. So would you like to maybe share some other examples of how you approach this, and maybe examples of people that you've worked with, and how you assisted them in moving through and finding that own, because ultimately we have to, we need support and we need guidance from those who have walked before us, but really we have to learn to trust ourselves. So I think that's a big piece of the beauty of your work. So can you share that?
Well, it is it is by the way of tuning into beloved beings, their frequency, their energy. And I, as a fluent so-called reader of energy, it's just the discernment guides me. There's a innate guidance system that takes me into the field of, I'll just would say, where the person may be in extreme most disturbed, because there is a most accumulated cloudiness or heaviness, and also darkness. And so when we are able to lift that cloudiness, darkness, confusion, etc., then the person, of course, is uplifted and feels much better in tune in herself, into herself. It's like when you are buried under snow or under something, you first need to get that thing out of the way, and then your innate self is right there to assist you in your day.
Yeah, it's there's different way healing modalities, different ways that healers work. Maybe you could share a little bit more about what I think a lot of what you use is things that nobody else is bringing, and I know that and some people might not have heard of light languages, but I know that you have always, for I don't know, 20 years that I've known you, have brought these incredibly healing pieces. So maybe you could talk a little bit about that as well.
Yes. So what I can say about light language is it is a light. It is a light, toning, loving, knowing seamstress. You can call it anything you want because it's everything and nothing that we can still comprehend. It taps into the original print. We have a blueprint, and the light languages and toning, singing, making sound, brings a specific, tailored, specific frequency that each layer, each perhaps characteristic situation, either trauma or cancer or broken bone, or pre-operation, if somebody has a I don't know, hip replacement. So there is this divine intelligence that the light language has, and reminds the specific issue of how it actually is before the issue ever started it. So it embraces the original blueprint of yourself, of your trillions of cells. It's the loving recognition through the heart, through the unconditional love, that healing takes place, to just reach out to you and to gently guide you and take you through the space of the chaos, okay? Chaos or disturbance or trauma again. To just help you to so-called walk out of that, if you truly, truly wish, because, I cannot go against your free will. But if you truly wish to open up, expand, because there is a contraction and expansion, one of many alchemical, movements or situations, or anatomy and alchemy. So it is, I do love to help people through the sessions to orient themselves and to remind themselves of the spherical omnipresence that we are. How spirals, energies, how they culminate into different heights, different depth. You can make it flat, you can make it multidimensional, you can do anything. And I'm here to help us to really deeply tap into that, and interwoven and play and dance and move with it in any way. Like we teach breathing, because many of us we stop breathing when we are pressed and compressed, and all this chaos with so much rushing everywhere and not having time to even have a normal quiet breakfast, or the schizophrenic world presses into you its domination and control and tries to squeeze your life out of you. And of course, if you have a little bit of um, knowingness about what life is, you, of course, you don't choose to go with that, right? Of course, you will go, oh, I feel so not happy. How can I change that? I feel so, my husband doesn't find me attractive anymore. My kids are not listening to me, or I don't know what to do with my life, or, I don't want to be doing three-dimensional work 30 years later, always the same thing. Well, of course, that's again the call for the change. So with the light languages, many people are also a little bit confused about, but I don't understand what you're saying. Like, what does it mean? What are you saying? And the mind that is programmed with all kinds of belief and, basically the thing of how it is black and white in three-dimensional world, um, wants to understand what we are saying. What does it mean? But I would invite everyone to rather feel, relax, and tune into how it feels to you, and what each of you is going through a different process, and is very, very beneficial to each of us to kind of have a little respect, or to follow your own process and trust that what is happening with you and to you is for your highest benefit in any given healing session, and the sessions are always obviously different. They're not like uniforms, like cookie cutters. It's very individual, by the higher higher self-design that you and I meet, and our guides meet in very beautiful sacred space. And I don't like plan on anything. I just read your field, and I have to really listen very, very carefully. Where is it that we need to go, and how to achieve, to help you achieve that which you came to me with in the first place. Have lots of hand mudras here.
Oh, yeah, so beautiful. So again, maybe you can say here that you do work with people in person.
Yes, I do.
But you also, this is because you're working, in no time, and you're working, that you also can offer this online.
Yes, certainly. Yes, I actually have many people who, of course, don't live where I live. So yes, there are like a lot of Skype sessions and these kind of forms of meeting. Or if there is no Skype available, you just need to agree on certain time. And I usually ask people to please, perhaps, depending what it is. Mm-hmm. And if there's something serious, then I want you to be sitting down, laying down, and really tune into with me, because I'm able to bring the energy of healing into your space, environment, wherever you are. And we tune through the heart intelligence. So I really don't need like any, technology. I just need our agreement that there is a session happening for you, and it can be anywhere and at any time.
Before we wrap this up, too, I wanted to loop back a bit to this. One of the things that you talked about, which was sharing high alchemy. Mm-hmm. Could you explain a little bit more about that?
Wow.
In 5 seconds, no.
Ay.
If you feel, if not, I wanted to, there's two things that I think that really stuck out for me. And that I know that my own personal, and I feel like I'm speaking for people who are listening, is the word, those words high alchemy have a particular energy around them that I just find very exciting.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other thing that you said, and maybe somehow this ties in, I don't know, is that how we need to be more friendly to our DNA. And that
Yes.
notion, I think, is really compelling as well. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you could share a little bit more about those.
Yes, probably I'll try to do my best in this very spare moment. It is, I just feel, I just am tuned into my own body, okay? And my own body is going right now through this process of, okay, we are having conversation here, and question about high alchemy. It's the high alchemy as again a level of evolution. Okay, so in my world of high alchemy, I am very free spirited, and it's to achieve and bring about absolute, the utmost freedom from absolutely everything that we have ever considered to be labeled as anything in ego identification. An ego identification that is negative, that is oppressive. Only baby who is pure and innocent knows how it feels to itself when the mother smiles or kisses him on the cheek. How you want to describe it? Is that perhaps high alchemy? High alchemy does not need to prove anything, just like, the way how we go about love, how we go about sexuality, how sexuality, love, high alchemy, this is all very sacred, innate, heart-based, self-organized intelligence. And it matters what we seek, and or perhaps I can use the English expression, what I focus on. So if I focus on, oh yes, my memory is of I am love, I am free spirit, I vibrationally bring it about. Do I bring it immediately? Sometimes not. Because sometimes some of us, we deal with a lot of things in the unseen world, and it's not always pretty. So the alchemy is it's like catalyst between the physical, what we know as so-called physical, because of course it's another perception. You have to, think for yourself what physical means to you. And then the non-physical, and how you marry it together. It's also alchemy. And right now, where we are as an individual and as a planet, is each of us has the DNA stranding partially activated, repairing in dormant stage. It's just how the refinement can happen if, with what we know and with what we don't know, how we observe the light of the sun, how we observe the emotion and the language of the earth, who is most powerful, sentient, intelligent being who knows what she's doing, who does not definitely need, I'll say, our help. Because just to digress a little bit, I have dedicated many years for Mother Earth as my teacher. And there are meditations, bi-weekly meditations that are called Mangaya meditation. And we always learn a lot from actually embarking on having deep, meaningful relationship to Mother Earth through internally, through our sitting meditation in silence. And it is truly very, very powerful. And through these meditations, we also get to understand in great details what alchemy is. It's the natural evolution. High alchemy is refined natural evolution to aspire us where we need to go to break through these imposed boundaries on us, and to reach out into this universe that is awaiting, or we are part of the universe. We are the universe, but there is this level of universe that is still almost like forbidden to us, and that we feel so isolated here. Elderly woman is feeling isolated because her husband doesn't make love to her, because her children don't see her anymore. She feels very lonely. And we as a human, as a one human, we may feel very lonely, perhaps, without, I don't know if we realize that or if that's necessary to say this here, but definitely we are also in the time where we need to reach out and expect or be more thinking about what is out there. So it's very important to know what is happening innately and have your internal, emotional, mental environment, in working on the harmony, on loving, on gentleness. That's really, really important. And it also, it's like you're giving a gift to this planet when you look after yourself. That's another thing that I teach people. Teach myself, obviously, and teach people. And so everything is how you build yourself into your aspiration, inspiration, and how we ultimately can outgrow and outcreate this how do you say, cage. It's like we live in cage, and this suppression, and of course more suppression comes, and worse it's gonna get. More people will be really, I would say, aggravated by it. And it's just the nature, it's in our nature to break through, break free, and meet our star brothers and sisters that of course are always, I'll just say, in a very safe distance around this planet Earth. And many people do communicate to different star beings, no doubt, and have been for thousands of years, and nobody can deny it. So, I mean, we can deny it, but I mean, it's just self-evident. Just sometimes go, when you pass by a mirror, look at yourself and say, oh, where do I come from? Because many people also don't feel like they belong right in the high rise of Yonge Street in New York, let's say.
Wow. I think, I mean, we could go on for hours, but maybe we can wrap up here for now. And I'm just thinking that maybe you could first of all, tell people your website name, just speak it out. We'll put it'll be on the link, but depends on where people might see this. So it is.
Yes, it's just very simple. It's triple W's, Spec.Jarmila.ca.
Yes.
That's where you
And
mostly
Jarmila
can
spelled
find me.
JARMILA.ca.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm thinking that what might be beautiful is I know that you are calling out to this is kind of a call out to invite people to come who you can connect with.
Yes.
So maybe you could close with either English or light language or whatever as your invitation, as your beautiful invitation. Mm-hmm. And I'll just say, answer it. You will not be sorry.
Oh, thank you, Christine. Okay, so I will just I feel there are many beautiful newborn beings that are coming to our planet, and Earth is very, very happy to see them. So I want to acknowledge all the wisdom from elders on this planet. Te osho hai chitehe, and the new beginnings of the very powerful souls and gifted children who are coming. I can't wait to see you and to meet with you. Okay. Namaste. Thank you. See you.
All right. Okay.